We have with us Dr. Shreyas Ramamurthy, who is a consultant cataract, cornea, and refractive surgery from the Eye Foundation Group of Hospitals with a greatly proficient surgical skills. And he's going to show us another learning video, which is going to challenge our thought process. So on to you, Shreyas.
Thank you so much. I hope my screen is visible.
Yeah.
I was originally going to present a hard cataract in a runaway rhexis, but after seeing Jayesh's presentation, I felt like switching to a ocular surface video myself. So here is a patient, a 42-year-old female, who presented with decreased vision in the left eye for the past 9 months. She gave on and off episodes of pain and irritation, and had a hand movement vision in the left eye. The right eye, she had undergone an uneventful phaco elsewhere and had 6/6 vision. So on just slightly, she had a mature cataract in the left eye with some corneal opacification and some vascularization also. So on a more careful examination, so this was the kind of cataract, mature cataract and surface that she had with the opacity and vascularization. On a slightly more careful examination, I could see that her lid margin was a little rough, was a little keratinized. It didn't have the typical keratin plaques, which you would find in a patient with chronic SJS. But nevertheless, this was a keratinized surface, and on staining also, you could see that this was a keratinized epithelium. Just to add, though this is not a picture of the same patient, the role of mucous membrane graft in a patient with SJS cannot be overemphasized. A patient, it's essentially this lid margin keratinization, which chronically abrades on the limbus, on the cornea, causes recurrent epithelial breakdowns, causes secondary vascularization, opacification, and secondary limbal stem cell damage as well. So a well done mucous membrane graft, and actually, especially if a patient does not have a bone dry surface already, can really improve the ocular surface. And you can see just 6 months post just a lid MMG, nothing else done, this patient improved from vision of counting finger 1 meter to 6/9 vision. So I'll go on to the case which I was talking about earlier. So that patient had a significant roughness of both the upper and lower lid margins. And here I'm doing a first lid margin MMG. As Jayesh had already shown, that harvesting this, trying to make it as thin as possible, and not trying to ensure that you replace the entire keratinized surface in its entirety is very, very important. You could use glue or sutures. I prefer using sutures in these cases, as I feel it heals very well with the sutures. And then subsequently, you can then go on to the cataract surgery itself after about 6 to 8 weeks, once the surface has completely stabilized and the lid margin has completely taken up. Now here again, a visualization can be a little bit of a challenge. Fortunately, because of it being a white cataract, I did have reasonable clarity. But one mistake which I did was I was completing the rhexis in the area under the opacity. Ideally, I should have completed it away from the opacity. And because I completed it near the opacity, I was not sure whether it was completed. And I actually did have a tag. And as you would see here, as I show again, there was a small tag which was left behind, although initially I thought it was not there. So I just reversed it with micro forceps, and that tag was removed. Then subsequently, hydro and rotation can be done. Nuclear direct chops are always helpful in these cases. Just a moderately dense cataract, ensure the chops are complete. And you could always do the emulsification by tilting the globe slightly down, so that the superior area where there is some visibility, the entire phacoemulsification can be done. And as Dr. Namrata also mentioned earlier, suturing the ports in these cases, especially the main incision, is extremely important in all these cases, as the cornea is a little thinner. And then you can remove the traction sutures. Fortunately, in this patient, the fornices were reasonably well formed, so I could do a good scleral contact lens fitting, and the patient improved to 6/12 vision with a scleral contact lens. So, sorry. So take home point is really to stabilize the ocular surface first, ensure the fornices are well formed. If not, you could do a larger mucous membrane graft and form the fornices separately, and then which allows subsequent scleral lens fitting in these patients. And cataract surgery, if it is not a white cataract, immature cataract, visibility will be even more difficult. So you could use assisted illumination like a chandelier illumination. You must remember no grafts in patients with SJS or OCP. In this particular patient, one point I'd like to highlight, some of the times when they've had a SJS episode long back, they feel it is not necessary to tell the consulting doctor that SJS had actually happened. And it is this subtle clue of minimal keratinization on the lid margin which actually enabled the diagnosis of SJS. And on further probing, she actually gave this episode which had happened almost 15 years ago in her life. She had become used to her way of life and did not give the history of SJS in the first instance. So it's important to dig deeper in these cases to have an optimal outcome. Thank you so much for your kind attention.
Since this was your diagnosis, would you have wanted to combine some medication also along with the surgery and all that, or you just took it up right away?
No, unlike OCP, chronic SJS is not a progressive disease. Yes, rarely there are patients who keep having recurrent surface inflammations, but most of the time the recurrent surface inflammation is because the lid margin has not been addressed appropriately. There is recurring breakdowns of epithelium because of the keratinized surface abrading against the cornea, abrading against the ocular surface, causing recurrent episodes of redness, irritation, and inflammation. So in these cases, stabilizing the surface with a mucous membrane graft, of course, some oral steroids can be given in that time, but they do take up very well, especially if the eye is not extremely dry. In the moderately wet eye, they do take up very well. And once it has taken up, doing a cataract surgery is extremely safe. Cataract surgery can be done, and occasionally you might get away. But if it is missed during the post-operative period, even slight disturbances in the epithelium while you're using topical steroids, this keratinized surface abrading against the epithelium can cause persistent epithelium to break down, persistent epithelial defect, and corneal melts can occur, causing disastrous outcomes.
So Shreyas, I thought that was like a textbook, like, management of a case of SJS with cataract. Perfectly done. Very tough cases, and you combine mucous membrane graft with it. And I think, again, like Jayesh would also agree, like we always say, it is a disservice, again, for a patient who's got keratinization and you don't do a mucous membrane graft. Because I think for all ocular surface cases, most can be prevented or avoided, provided you act timely and rightly. So all the tips and tricks which are required for a case of SJS with cataract, I think Shreyas demonstrated very well. The fact that you should begin the rhexis from one particular part and then come and complete it at the area where visualization is there. And I think it is very important, one small trip, that underneath that area of corneal haze, and Purinder is also here. Purinder has got beautiful videos on corneal haze with cataract. You can't afford to lose the edge of the rhexis there. So I think very well said. And like Shreyas said, it was nice that you changed your case, Shreyas, because both can now be, looked at in one go. In OCP, you need to immunosuppress them and have a white unflamed eye. In SJS, you don't have to do, any systemic immunosuppression. But you should know that you can have acute exacerbations even after you've done a surgery, and you should be, prepared for that. Yes, but very well managed, Shreyas. Excellent.
Dr. Bhasin, thanks a lot, Namrata. Dr. Purinder Bhasin, anything
I
to
think
add?
the most important point with these two cases, what is there to be learned for everyone, is that when should we not take the cases?
Yeah.
I mean, because these have to be managed beforehand. Yeah. What is the message which is given by these two cases? Shreyas has very beautifully depicted and illustrated the whole way of managing a case of SJS. And because there was a lot of vascularization and it was a challenging case in itself, he has managed the surface. So for everyone who is listening, and it's a video which should be on the YouTube, I tell you, Shreyas, for everyone who has a case in the OPD, whether they should take the case for surgery immediately, because all these cases, the surface has to be managed beforehand. We should wait for a month or 2 or 3 months, and then when you find that the surface is proper, wet, and vascularization has regressed, we can see the vessels which is now regressing, that we can always see. And one can take the pictures of every visit, and then we can compare it on every visit and then see the surface, compare it with the previous one, and then we can plan it for the surgery. And surgery was also immaculate. Very nice, very beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Jayesh, you have anything to add before we go on to the next?
Jayesh,
that it was a very nicely presented case. I think the overall point which he was trying to make and what I also was trying to make is same, that both for the doctor and for the patient, the cataract is a very small piece of the jigsaw in these cases. So it's very important that one realizes and looks at the bigger picture, making the accurate diagnosis when to immunosuppress, when not to immunosuppress, managing the surface, using mucous membrane grafts, counseling the patients for the need for scleral lenses post-op. So it requires a holistic approach. So if you want to do these cases, please do it properly and do everything that is required to give the optimum outcome.
and also I think do them earlier than later, because if the cataract gets hard in the presence of such a cornea or ocular surface, then it's going to get tougher for you.
Yes.
Especially, I think that's even more true for OCP, madam, because
Yeah.
being a more progressive condition, before the phonus is zipper up, you would want to do the cataract and then keep the patient on immunosuppression.
Very good.
Cataract
Actually,
might
we've
progress
had.
in the time that we are waiting for the ocular surface to stabilize. So it is likely that in that time the cataract might progress. So it is a very difficult balance to maintain. So greatly managed case.
Yes. All videos this far have been amazing.